it dips and then it peaks again and then it dips and then it kind of flatlines for a bit and then it keeps going. Like, it's dynamic. And this is why, I think running a business is the ultimate in personal development and spiritual development, because you are getting worked every single day.
Oh, hello. We're talking about my tits.
Most of the time.
Girl on girl on girl.
You would.
Like, stop picking up the fucking hot knife.
Fucking cares.
Right on track.
Ugh.
With a lot of money, I would do great fucking things.
But not in a good way.
Yikes.
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 Yikes. Where's the realness?
Yeah. Everything you want. Immaculate experience.
Back down.
You're getting, like, excited.
I do actually.
Give me tequila. Hello, everybody. We're back on the podcast. We have a turbo spicy three-way today. Mm-hmm. This is like where you throw on the hot sauce, and you're like, "Did I overdo it with the hot sauce?" But then you're like,
Never.
There is no overdoing it with the hot sauce. So
well, once you overdo it with the hot sauce, you have one choice, and it's just to fully commit.
Yeah, just swallow it. Just take it all the way in.
I mean, you can't take it off. You can't take that shit off anything.
Exactly.
Just got to double down. You got to expand your capacity. You got to expand your nervous system capacity to hold more hot sauce.
It got weird fast.
Oh, I love
Just
it. I love it.
affirm that the hot sauce is good for you, and you shall receive.
Yeah, you shall receive all the greatness it has to offer.
All the goodness. All the goodness. Well, if y'all couldn't tell, we have a three-way today. And if you're just listening, obviously you couldn't see that. But if you were watching us on YouTube, you would have already seen this. But we have a three-way today with our immaculate friend, Alex Cattoni. Alex, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh my gosh, I have been looking forward to this ever since, I think I probably cornered you guys both at my birthday party and was like,
Yes.
bitches, why haven't I been on the pod yet?
That's exactly what happened.
I love both of you so much and have great conversations with both of you. And so the fact that we're three-weighing it right now, it just brings my heart all the delight.
Same for us. And also, just a fun fact for everybody listening, Alex was there the day that Club Unhinged was created. We were having a very unhinged conversation at Mark Groves' house, and you were part of that conversation and part of the, conception of this whole business podcast, like whatever fucking journey we are on here. And it's been so wild and so fun. And you were there right from the beginning. So this is a really fun moment just on that level too, but also because you're such a bad bitch and we can't wait for everyone to know about you.
Thank you. It's been fun watching you ladies bring this to life.
Thank you.
Well, we'd like our audience to get to know you, Alex. I mean, we know you, and we could give some really unhinged behind-the-scenes facts, but, we won't go there quite yet.
We'll warm it up first.
Yeah, let's warm it up. We'll warm it up. We'll leave you up. Can you share with our audience, like, how would you describe who you are and what you do?
So
Such a boring question, but,
I know,
you know what I
but
mean.
you gotta
Do an
know.
unhinged response.
Well, what I say when people ask me what I do is I say I teach over 500,000 rad humans on the internet how to make more money with modern messaging and marketing. So I'm all about authentic marketing, especially today in the age of AI, where so much bullshit can be created at the touch of a finger. Really teaching people, copywriters, marketers, business owners, creatives, how to channel their uniqueness, their voice, their personality into marketing that actually makes an impact and sell more products and services that genuinely help people.
I'm so fucking turned on right now.
I don't know. My nipples just got hard, I think. I'm like, damn, if that isn't succinct fucking messaging, then I don't know what is. Let's just have a moment.
If I teach it, I better know how to do it, right?
Yeah. You're
Facts,
like, I'm
big
Alex,
facts.
and I think that there's this thing that I do online for a couple people, No, I'm joking.
That was a masterclass, by the way, everyone. Like, go back, rewind, listen to that a million times, get that frequency in your bones so that you too can be that succinct when you go out in the world and introduce yourself. And no matter what you do, like that was 10 out of 10 immaculate.
Thank you.
Yeah. Obsessed. And like, you are so, like, you're just the queen of copywriting. Like, when I think of copywriting, I think of you. Like, there's no one else that comes to mind. And like, you and I have been, in each other's circles since what, 2010? Like, we've been, around a lot of people in personal development in our time, back at Awesomeness Fest in Mind Valley. And there's just no one like you doing what you do. And I just love that so much. You're such a little renegade and trailblazer. And I'm just so thrilled to see what you've done with your brand over the last few years and how that's blown up. And, what I really kind of am curious about, because you started on YouTube, didn't you? And you just kind of played with that devotion, and then all of a sudden it took on a life of its own. So can you walk us through a little bit of how that all came into form? Because it's such a cool story.
Yeah. So what a lot of people might not know is, you said it. You and I have been in each other's circles since 2010. I've been in the marketing world since 2008 when I accepted an internship at Mind Valley. And so I've been in marketing and personal development for a long, long time. And so when I quit my job in 2011 and started my freelance copywriting business, I worked completely behind the scenes in other people's businesses for almost a decade. And so really, I feel like I truly got my start being kind of a secret copywriting weapon that was helping a lot of other people make millions of dollars online. And I had no personal brand to speak of. So I had never published a piece of content. I had never really shown up on Instagram. I had a Facebook account. I was completely anonymous on the internet. But, over the years, a decade almost of writing copy behind the scenes, it just became so clear to me that there was this really strange divide in the industry where so many of the copywriters and incredible, content strategists and marketers that were working behind the scenes in these companies that I knew or worked with, most of them were women. Yet when you went onto YouTube or any of these like very sort of public platforms to learn copywriting, it was like the same flavor of like white man, boring ass vanilla bro, whatever. And I was like, this makes no sense because yes, like, don't get me wrong. I've learned a ton from those guys. And so many of the marketing programs I took when I was first getting started were from sort of the OG, quote unquote, godfathers of the copywriting world. But I was just like, this is something's not adding up here. Like there's no women representing this online. And of course, I had 10 years of experience doing it and thought, well, maybe I'll start my YouTube channel. But the decision to start and actually do, that was a journey. Because
tell us about that.
I was terrified. I think like a lot of people was absolutely terrified to put myself online. I was, taught through probably decades of programming to be a good, quiet little girl and not ruffle any feathers. And I would go to marketing events and often be the only woman. And I felt like I always had to dress a certain way and act a certain way and be a certain way to be taken seriously. Like I joke and I'm like, oh yeah, that was like my black blazer and ballet flats era where I was just like, just fit in. Like, don't be loud, don't be unique, don't be different, just like fit in and hopefully these guys take you seriously. What the heck just happened? It's like it still said I was online, but I think my internet just crapped out, which is...
You were on one. It was fucking immaculate.
Don't worry. This has happened to us so many times. Like, I feel like it's the energy field of...
Like we're breaking the internet.
Yeah. Like,
I'm
for real.
hotspotting now, but I honestly think it's probably better.
Okay. Yeah, it's nice and clear now.
Okay.
That happened earlier to me. I was on
What
a call
was the
and it
last
literally
thing you heard me say?
blew out.
You were talking about your uniform, like you were in these rooms and you were often the only woman, and your uniform was the black blazer and ballet flats.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So if you want to pick it up right there, then...
I wonder how long I was talking to you guys just like with these really pleasant smiles on your face. Then I realized you're frozen.
We're
I'm like...
Wait a second.
You were like... That's nice, but why didn't they laugh at that?
That was funny. Rude. I thought we were friends.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I was just absolutely terrified of putting myself out there and being criticized and not being taken seriously and saying the wrong thing, or people saying I was underqualified. And I think that's what's so crazy. Even now I'll see comments where people are like, oh, Alex isn't a copywriter. She doesn't even do this for clients anymore. She just sells courses. And I'm like, Okay, I'm sorry, but what exactly do I need to do to prove that I'm qualified to be teaching what I'm teaching? Is it that I was the creative director of a multi-million-dollar company at the age of 25 for 3.5 years? Was it that I worked behind the scenes in other people's companies, making them millions of dollars for 10 years before I ever started teaching? Was it that I now have helped thousands of copywriters around the world and marketers make more money, build six-figure careers, starting from scratch? Like, there's so much... there's so much, I think, just doubt and ridicule that happens online as soon as you decide to put yourself out there. And honestly, part of the process for me was just deciding to lean in and go for it. And I had actually said to our friend Mark Groves, who you mentioned earlier, at one point that I was going to start a channel. And it must have been like a year later where I said it again because I forgot that I had told him that I was going to. And he's like, you told me that. Yeah, he's like, you're like, shit. He's like, you told me that a year ago. So when are you going to do it? And it was that comment that made me, well, I was like, I need the perfect background, right? Like, because of course, like every reason in the book to not get started, I was like, I need the right things behind me on the walls to look whatever. And so I went to Indigo, like the bookstore, and I bought like these stupid motivational quotes and I framed them and I put them up behind me because I was like, you know what? Live, laugh, love, bitches. Like, I'm starting a YouTube channel. And that was it. I just went for it. But it was terrifying and scary and a labor of love. I created a video every week for 6 months before I got to 1,000 subscribers. So it didn't start perfect. It started like really messy and deeply uncomfortable.
Ugh, I feel you. And that is literally the Club Unhinged motto. It's like, do it messy. It's not about doing it perfect. It's about showing up and actually committing to the thing that moves the needle forward. And when, especially like, I think this happens a lot with new entrepreneurs too. If they don't see the results right away, they often think like, oh, maybe this isn't for me or I'm doing something wrong. So when you didn't have that data in those first 6 months of your YouTube channel, like what was the thing that kept you showing up and like moving the needle forward, even though you didn't technically have like the massive following yet? Like what was the thing internally?
I think that at the end of the day, like anytime you decide you're going to start showing up online in whatever capacity, like you have to do it for you. You know, and I loved what I was talking about and I'm passionate about what I do. And I knew that I needed to do that. You know, I had been behind the scenes for almost a decade in businesses and felt like I was coasting and I felt like I was hiding. And so it was sort of this big challenge for me to be like, what if I don't get, a ton of subscribers? Like, why am I doing this? And it was really like, I'm doing this to kind of face my fear of putting myself out there and doing it in a way that doesn't feel perfect and doing it for me. And then, and I'm sure like you ladies experience this, I'm sure with the pod and anyone who's ever started anything online, whether it's a YouTube channel, a podcast, social media, you'll get one comment. And it'll be like this gift from God. It's like you wake up that morning and you're like, this is it. This is the last time I'm doing this. This is bullshit. Nobody's watching. And you'll just get one comment from someone that's like, I really needed to hear that. Or thank you for this. It like I've found someone who explains this the way that makes sense to me, or whatever that comment might be. To me, it was those little breadcrumbs of just like, thank you. You know, and if one person is saying that, then I know 100 more are feeling it and not commenting. And if 100 more are feeling it, then like I just need to keep going.
Yes.
Good reminder for people listening right now. Comment on people's shit. And just like those little reminders, those little breadcrumbs literally mean everything. I think what you're saying is so relatable. The amount of times I'm like, fuck this shit, I'm out. You know what? Fuck you, universe. You want to give me this vision, but you don't want to get, it's like we have such a hard, it's multifold, but it's really hard as an entrepreneur to hold the magic when you plant the seed and you have to wait for it to grow. And I think we have Amazonitis fever these days. Where's my package? I became an entrepreneur yesterday and where's my money? Where's my 100K months? And it's like, wait, what? Like That's why we see so many brilliant people tapping out of their gifts or their magic or what they can offer the world because it doesn't happen fast enough or there's not enough evidence. And then they're just like, I can't handle the feeling of discomfort that it's not going to work, or I hate feeling like a loser, right? There's nothing worse when you think about it from a nervous system perspective of going and putting yourself out there and being vulnerable and then not feeling seen. and not nobody, it's like that nobody cares, and then it triggers all their childhood shit. They're like, oh my god, this reminds me of all the times I showed my parents my favorite thing from school and they didn't care, or people told me I was a loser, or whatever it is, and then they're like, cannot handle, must go get 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
But
that reminds me of, like, I was at a party once. It was like we had a party at our old house in the back, and it is after my channel started to get some kind of traction. Like, maybe I had like 10,000 subscribers at that point, and a friend of ours came up to me and he's like, I saw your channel. It's like, wow, like you're at 10,000 or whatever. And I was like, yeah, like it's been a long road, you know? And he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like I felt really sorry for you in the beginning. He said that to me. He's like, I felt, and like obviously pure projection, right? Because this person at the time was also trying to grow their Instagram account, and fortunately they stopped creating content. And again, this is like what you're saying, Christine, is like that voice wins. Is obviously him saying I felt sorry for you was total projection, but like I get it. It's like, yeah, you're seeing someone try really fucking hard publicly, and you go and you're like, ooh, that's got no comments, or it's got 3 2 likes or 3 views, and like, oh, and like they're trying so hard. But like you have to try a lot of shit to see what works. And so when did trying hard publicly become uncool? Like every single gold medal athlete tried really freaking hard to get where they are, and no one was like, oh, what a loser. Like, you know, like what a loser for trying so hard, and what a loser for falling and getting back up again. Like, it's just so interesting how we tend to compare ourselves against people who are on like chapter 10 of their journey. And then when we see people who are on chapter 1 or chapter 0, we're just like, oh God, that's so awkward and cringy. And so like, I think you're right. Like when Christine, you said like, go comment on people's stuff. Like literally that your one comment could be the thing that keeps them going. And I think we need to make trying hard cool again, because it's like building a, like I say this to my students all the time. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. Did you think changing your whole fucking career in life was going to be easy? Oh, like you got it wrong. Like, and then they're of course like, well, no, I didn't think it was going to be easy. It's like, okay, so then what's the problem? Like, we knew that this is going to take hard work. This is going to take grit. This is going to take you showing up for yourself. This is going to take you like majorly working on yourself. Like anyone who says building a business isn't personal, like has never built a business, because it's the most personal thing ever. Every day you're confronted with all of your shit. And I think, you know, it's like what a lesson and what a journey we can go on together. And I think we all should be supporting other people, especially other women who are on that journey.
100%.
Read something recently that was like, basically what you're saying is that when you first start out, like nobody's clapping. It's like, and we're like, oh God, they only have 2 views. Oh my God, don't want to be associated. And then all of a sudden there's momentum builds, and all of a sudden they have, you know, whatever, 100, 200, 300,000 followers or subscribers, and they become really, and all of a sudden you're like, I knew it, they were going to be amazing the whole time. It's like people usually either
since day one.
Yeah. You're like, no, you were cringe behind the scenes. But it's so true. It's like when people are starting out, maybe there's a bit of that support, you know, a bit of that initial rah, like you can do it. And then at the end, you know, when you've succeeded, there's all that support. But in the middle, that's the fucking messy middle. It's that void. It's like nothing's happening. And it's like you're out at sea and there's like a seagull way far in the distance. You're like, is that success down there? I don't know. But I really do think.
And then you're like, did I get a comment? Oh no, that's just an AI generated comment, which is a whole
that's just a bot.
That I can rant about forever now. But yeah.
Oh God.
Totally.
Yeah.
DM, go check your DMs. You're like, no, is that the only interaction I'm getting these days? But I really do think that, you know, you're talking about this, but along the way, the reason we are put under pressure and stress, and we are, like you said, having to go internally, is because we're building the container and the capacity to hold the success. Because there's so many stories out there of, look at artists, look at DJs, look at actors, whatever. They hit massive, insane success so quickly, and then they cannot hold it. Suicide rates, right? Like there's all of this, like drug addiction, everything, because it's like, whoa, everything is too fast, too quickly. So if you are along that journey right now, just know that every time you walk yourself through and you show up online, even when nobody commented the day before, or you keep going, is like you're actually building your capacity to feel and hold sensation, discomfort, all of that. And on the flip side of that, you're also building the container to hold success and money and impact and more people, because again, the more people see you, the more people are not going to like you as well. They're going to love you, they're going to hate you. But can you hold the duality of that, right? I worked with an actress and she was like, I want to be on a feature film. I know I'm going there. And I'm like, okay, amazing. But can you hold when people tell you that you look fat or you look too skinny or you look too ugly or look at your skin or whatever? And she's like, oh. And I was like, so let's just work on that. Because if you can hold that, you can walk so much easier towards the things you want. But it's like, can you hold the flip side of whatever you want? And that's where a lot of people are like, like, universe knows you can handle the fucking success and the money. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can handle the fucking yacht and wiping your ass with hundreds. The problem is, what are you going to do when somebody comes at you online and starts trashing you or ganging up on you? Or, Kelsey have had that, and I have had that in groups as well, even in our individual containers and in all sorts of stuff. We've had business partnerships go south. We've had people in our containers all of a sudden be like,
go rogue.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to pay anymore. And we're like, what? Like, it's all
sized. Or you're like me, I found a Reddit thread about me.
No way.
Oh, you made it, Alex. That's when you know you really made it.
Yeah.
That's what everyone says. And of course, it's all people who have never ever purchased anything from me. It's
of
all
course.
just a bunch of anonymous bros who have a lot to say.
Sure.
And I remember the first time I found that, it was very, very early after starting my YouTube channel, like maybe a year in. And like everything in me wanted to just hide. Like I wanted to be like, you know what, they're right. Like literally there was this voice inside me that was like, they're right. You should just delete your channel and go back to being. And that's when I was like, whoo, like, no, I'm going to lean in. And it's so crazy now. Like what rattles me now, like the stuff that like used to rattle me is like, now I'm like, it's nothing. It's so wild. Like I was talking to my lawyer yesterday and it's this like stupid thing where I tried to file a trademark for one of my program names, and then this other company saw the trademark filing and then tried to challenge it and was like, no. And honestly, if I never tried to file the trademark for it, they would never have even seen it in the first place. So my lawyer's like, they might slap you with a lawsuit. And literally my nervous system was just like, like those words used to like send me into a spiral, and now I'm just like, okay, yep. Like it's so dumb.
You're like,
and
I turn that into content. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
a lawsuit can
you
be
say that
sexy.
again? Yeah, exactly. And I realized like, wow, talk about the duality. You're so right. And I think too, like I experienced that a little bit because so I had a very successful year in 2020, which also happened to be the year that I did my very first product launch. So I started my YouTube channel in 2019. Took me 6 months to get to 1,000 subscribers. It took me about a year to get to 10,000 subscribers. And then I did my first product launch shortly thereafter, and it was in January of 2020. And everyone remembers what happened 2 months after that. In March of 2020, it was like, God damn, was that good timing for me to launch a business teaching people how to make money online with writing right before the whole world was going to be locked up with some stimulus money. Like, it was awesome. And I made 7 figures in that first year. And I was like, I'm a fucking genius. Like, I was featured in Forbes. I was like, God, I'm so good. It was like this ego trip. And then now every single mastermind I'm in with like multiple 7-figure business owners are like, oh yeah, it was like 2020. Everybody made millions of dollars in 2020. And I was like, oh fuck. Like, it was a season. And I think that that's what's important to remember. Anytime you're in anything, it's like, there's good seasons and there's bad seasons. There's winter seasons and spring seasons. And I feel like being able to separate your self-worth and value from whatever it is your business is doing is like the healthiest thing you can do. And so a lot of times in the last year or so, I've said to people when they're like, what's new with you? And I'm like, I broke up with my business. Thank you. And it's not like a bad thing. I'm like, I was so codependent with the posse in the sense that like, me and the copy posse were one and the same. It was my brand. It was my business. I cared too much. I was too invested, and my value was tied too closely to what my business was doing. And so when you inevitably go through these seasons where it's absolutely unheard of and impossible to constantly year over year outdo yourself. And whether it's you're looking at revenue, or you're looking at like the number of views on your reel, or you're looking at the number of customers who buy your course, you know, for a while there, I was constantly outdoing myself. And then came the time when, like every cyclical season we have, that wasn't happening anymore. And it was really taking a toll on my confidence. And all of a sudden, all of those voices started coming back that were like, yeah, you were a fluke. You were a one-hit wonder. You were just big in 2020 because people were desperate and wanted to, like, literally all of that stuff. And then all of a sudden realizing, like, oh shit, I'm actually a whole ass person outside of my business, and I can be successful and I can be valuable even if my business isn't making as much money as it was last year. And that's been a huge growth lesson for me.
Absolutely. And I think so many people need to hear that, because they have this like fantasy projection that once you kind of make it, you just ride that wave indefinitely and you never hit the bottom again. And it doesn't mean you go broke, but like you see this happen all the time, where there is this peak moment and then it dips and then it peaks again and then it dips and then it kind of flatlines for a bit and then it keeps going. Like, it's dynamic. And this is why, you know, I think running a business is the ultimate in personal development and spiritual development, because you are getting worked every single day and every single season. And you have to get so good at flowing with all of those different seasons of life and seasons of business without turning on yourself, without turning on your customer, without turning on your brand, you know, like
Your husband.
and your husband, your wife, your friends, your family, yourself.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many ways that people can go rogue, and not in a good way, when they hit these seasons. And just as you said, like the internal dialogue, it comes back. And when we kind of play with this in a more expanded way of like, oh, this is part of the game. And when I know that this is part of the game, then I can just play with whatever season comes, and what adjustments and what pivots do I need to make in order to have this season work for me. And I love that you broke up with the codependent, you know, aspect of your business, because that probably was capping you in some way, shape, or form. And now there is more of an interdependent relationship with the business, which I think is a really healthy thing. And what were some of the things, like when you were in that dip, that kind of guided you or like moved the needle forward to kind of getting back in the pocket of remembering who the fuck you are and that you really are that bitch?
I love that you've said that. I often say, like, I really do feel like my mission and why I exist is to remind people of who the fuck they are, because I think it's so easy to forget. And I know that because I've gone through this myself. And I think the biggest thing is really just prioritizing my non-negotiables. I had a pretty big wake up moment. I know you ladies know about this, that Tater, my dog, chased a deer off a cliff 2 years ago. She was fully paralyzed for months. She can walk now. You probably heard her barking earlier. She's still her sassy self, but that accident, it was sort of the thread that unraveled me. And part of that was because I was the only one with her when it happened. I think I have always been sort of a bit of a control freak that has this belief that, like, as long as I'm in charge, everything will be okay. And here I was with this thing I love more than anything in the world, and I couldn't stop her from hurting herself so badly. And then I had to figure out, like, how to get her to safety and how to get her to the vet and how to take care of her. And then started this, like, 6-month journey of having an animal that can't walk, scratch, lick, do anything on her own. And I needed to just be there for her. And I, in a lot of ways, felt super grateful that I had a business that allowed me to work at home, but it just put everything into perspective. You know, it was this wake up call of like, okay, nothing else matters right now other than like me making sure my little fur baby is okay. And that means I can't say yes to everything. And that means I have to like reevaluate what I'm doing and actually like, what is it that I enjoy doing? And I think I had realized that before her accident, I was very much on this path to burnout. I was going through the motions, doing all the things that I thought I needed to do, and realized that I wasn't feeling a lot of like joy or happiness in the work I was doing anymore. And then came like a year and a half of me just like unraveling upon this realization, because I had, you know, some PTSD from her accident, but what it really represented was just sort of all the ways that I was like trying to keep it all together and couldn't. So I personally, and I don't think everyone has to go through this, needed sort of a bit of a wake up call for me to like reevaluate absolutely everything. And then I came back from this place of like, okay, luckily my business didn't burn down. I have an amazing team. I had great processes in place. I was able to kind of crumble a little bit and things were still moving forward, which was awesome. But I just started auditing like absolutely everything in my business. Like, what do I enjoy? What do I don't? What do I not? What's the goal of all of this? Before her accident, at my team retreat that year, I told my team that I wanted to build $100 million company. And they all sat there like, yep, okay, we're on board, you know? And that felt really true for me then. But then I realized like that was just me being like, well, clearly the next step is just bigger, better, you know, and not like anything to do with like, what does that mean? Like what, like how, like what's the expense of that, you know? And
Right. Yeah.
And now I just say to my team, like let's just keep serving our community and showing up and having fun. And I've realized that like, you know, while obviously I want to make money, I've really just reevaluated what my priorities are, and it's family and friends and joy and a stable nervous system that doesn't feel like it's going to unravel at any minute. And it's just been this big journey for me of just, like I said, reevaluating it all.
I think so many people can relate to that. Right?
I can.
Like, yeah, 100%. It's so relatable.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of this. What we're seeing right now in the industry is like more and more and more and more and more and more. And it's like, I remember back in the day having this moment of like, if I could have 10K months, I would have made it. Like from my perspective back then, right? Like having the worst relationship with money and living on government assistance while I opened my gym, and like just that was like the dream. And then I hit 10K, and then I wanted 15, and then I did 15, and then I wanted 20, and then I wanted 25, and then all of a sudden everyone was doing 50, so I wanted 50. And all of a sudden it just became this thing of I hit it, I feel nothing, and then I need the next thing. And it was, everything came at the expense of that.
Yeah.
Time with my kids, my own boundaries, like everything was just at the forefront of that. And when you talk to people who have, you know, made millions or kind of got it all, they end up saying, you know what really fucking mattered was my family. It was my friends. It was my happiness. And it doesn't mean that it has to be one or the other either. I think sometimes people get a little twisted with that, where they're like, you just need to be happy and be broke. And I'm like, that's not it either.
You're not happy if you're broke.
No, exactly. Having money gives you choice. And to me, that is freedom, being able to do what I want. Like the definition of success to me is like being able to do what I want, when I want, with who I want. Right? Yeah. It's just like, it's freedom. It's like, I want to be able to do these things and do something I love. And so I just think people need to hear this right now, that the illusion that when you get to this place and then you keep up leveling it and the game just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it, like you said, what is the cost? And are you starting to drain out because it looks good? And I think there's a lot of that. There's a lot of ego in the industry, in the personal development industry right now. There's a lot of this like more and more and more, and you can feel the frantic sympathetic energy. It's a lot of dysregulation in nervous systems. It's like the fuel in the gas tank is stress and perfectionism and trying to heal a wound from like when they're young about trying to please their parents or get daddy's attention or whatever the fuck they're trying to do. It's like, if I do this thing and I achieve this level of success, maybe I'll be seen, known, loved, and maybe I'll be good enough. And so this is why I think people get severely burnt out, is because it's never enough, because it's not actually the thing that's gonna make them happy.
Yeah.
It's this illusion, it's smoke and mirrors. It's right. It's like not even the real thing. And so doing things in a more relaxed, regulated way where you're actually like Like, I love that. It sounds like you're talking about like sustainable success. It's for you're here for the long game. And when somebody's here for the long game, they're not trying to frantically get to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, because they're like, well, this is my mission. I'm obsessed with this work and I'm going to keep doing it no matter what. So I don't need to hurry and hustle and hit this imaginary fucking goal where I'm going to be happy. It's like, no, you could create it in a sustainable way where you also are going out and going for midday fucking massages and, you know, going out for walks and doing shit that, you know, laughing at a coffee shop for 2 hours because you fucking want to, not because there's an ROI on it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's it too. Like, I honestly do think that has been the secret to my success as well, because so many people have asked me, like, when you started your YouTube channel, I'm like, what was your strategy? And they're trying to sort of recreate it. And I was like, I honestly didn't have one. I felt really called to start talking about things. And then it was like the road appeared as I took the steps. And, and I think that's part of it. I think I was talking about something that struck a nerve with people that they resonated with. And then I sort of allowed that to guide the conversations and where I took my business. And even now, like, when I define what success looks like, so much of it is like, well, I really like being able to take the month of May off to go to Italy. I love to be able to travel. I want to be able to take Fridays off as much as possible. Like, these are the things that we live for. These are the things that we want. And, you know, I often miss my freelancing days because I was making multiple six figures, worked with a couple clients off and on. I said to my husband the other day, I'm like, we went to the North Shore to go for a hike, and I was like, I can't believe I used to trail run every Monday afternoon. Like, now that's my meeting afternoon day, you know? And then I was like, oh yeah, and I used to learn Italian for 2 hours every day. And it's been a while since I've done that. And it was a good reminder to be like, how do I get back to that? Like, how do I have a team of 10, which I do? How do I have a team of 10 and still have such solid boundaries in place that I can protect myself, my health, my relationship, my free time, my happiness, my joy, my pleasure, and still do the work that I feel like I really am here to do, but in a way that, like, my nervous system is like, enough is enough. It doesn't have to be more. It can be exactly what it is. And yeah, I think that's the work.
It's 100% the work. Well, even Christine and I had a conversation a couple of days ago of like, you know, let's simplify, like, let's smooth this out so that it feels smooth and easy on our nervous systems. Like, less is sometimes more. And being able to, like, and we fuck around and find out a lot of the time in the club. Like, that's our whole thing. Like, let's test drive and like try a bunch of different things and see what works and see what fits and keep doing the things that work and then let go of everything else. And there is that element of experimentation, but there's also this return to what nourishes you. Like, is it really on mission if you are burning yourself out to fulfill or like deliver the message and the mission? I don't think so. Right. Like, I think we've taken a detour that's like the illusion of being on purpose, but it's not actually being on purpose. So I love that you walked everyone through that, because there's so many of these like spots where people get whacked or like pulled out, and because they think they're doing it wrong, or this shouldn't be happening, or like, I need more. But like, is that what you actually want?
Yeah. Right.
Or is that what the world wants for you? Is that what capitalism wants for you? Is that what the fucking patriarch wants for you? Like, what is it that you truly want and desire? And how can you generate a business or a life that supports that? So I love hearing that return to what's really true for you, because we need more women, especially, who are willing to walk that path and be that example, so that we don't have another generation of people who are burning out and who are doing things that are inauthentic and just doing it for the sake of making money. Like, we literally have lived a world where people have done this for centuries, and it's kind of fucked us. So like, maybe we could do something a little different and reinvent, you know, this whole paradigm of doing work and business and life, and having all of it be a cohesive balance with each other. And I love, I'm so obsessed with everything you just said.
Alex, I got to ask you, it's the burning question. What is AI doing to copywriting? Tell me what you're
Yeah.
seeing right now. Tell me
Yeah,
what
how
you're
do you
seeing in the
feel?
industry.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think the first thing that needs to happen is just sort of like massive education at scale on what copywriting actually is. Because something I say a lot is copywriting is not just words on a page, you know? And I'm actually grateful for AI and ChatGPT and other tools like that, because before AI, nobody knew what copywriting was. like people would think it had something to do with like legal trademark stuff, like copyright. And it was like, hear this from my students all the time. Like, man, I used to have to say to people all the time, like, no, I'm not in like anything to do with legal shit. Like, I'm a writer. And they're like, oh, like we had to constantly define it. So education was needed before, but now everybody knows what copywriting is. And unfortunately, it's kind of this like baby out with the bathwater situation where they think, oh, copywriting, well, ChatGPT can do that. And, or Claude, or, you know, any of these other AI tools. And while it is absolutely true that the best copywriters use AI, it's just not in the way that a lot of people think. Like, I use AI, but I don't use it to write. I use it to framework ideas, brainstorm, take messy concepts and like simplify it. I use it as a brainstorming buddy, so that I can free up more of my brain space to do the deep, meaningful, creative work that really is like what allows me to connect with my audience, to connect with my customers, to make more money. And I think it's really important that anyone who is thinking about, you know, becoming a copywriter, is a copywriter, or maybe you're a business owner who writes your own copy, there is no doubt that AI is so impressive, right? Like, it is impressive how fast this thing can generate words. But we need to be really careful that we're not confusing impressively fast word generation with anything that even remotely resembles powerful messaging or copywriting. Because at the end of the day, copywriting is deeply understanding your audience, speaking in their language, building trust, human to human connection. It's the things that really are felt and not often pinpointed. And I think that's what makes it so hard. Is I hear from a lot of people who were like, yeah, you know, I started using AI to write my copy, and like I've had a few people reach out and say like they can kind of feel the difference, or they spot like content that's written by AI and they immediately feel something is off, but they don't really know what it is and they can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but they're like, that feels weird, or that feels like it's not really hitting home. And I think as AI just becomes more widespread and even more used by people in so many different ways, the pendulum is swinging back the other way, where I think a lot of people are realizing it's not this like magic button that everybody thought it was. And, you know, what it has done is it's evened the playing field and lowered the barrier to entry. So nobody really has an excuse to not, you know, start creating content or building a website or putting themselves out there. But we just need to be really, really careful how much of ourselves we're outsourcing to this thing that literally has no emotion, no feeling, no creative thinking, no strategy. It's simply pattern recognition at scale. That's what AI does. So, you know, TBD. I think it's definitely disrupted the copywriting industry and disrupted my community, but it's really cool to see now, like I said, the pendulum swinging back the other way, where I'm getting more and more requests on my job board, people looking to hire a real copywriter, people saying, well, I guess the AI thing didn't work as well as I thought it was gonna work. So do you have anyone that you can refer to me? It's like, come on, people. Like, everyone just got really friggin' excited. It was like circle jerk times 10 about AI. And then now it's like, okay, let's treat it like the tool that it is, a tool that we should all be using. And I'm not gonna, you know, say I'm anti-AI at all. I use it all the time. It's just we need to be able to discern how to use it and what the right ways to use it.
I love that so much, especially as a writer myself. Like, the soul of what I'm transmitting can never be replicated by AI. And like, I've seen this even on some of like my poetry threads of people using AI to write poetry. I'm like, what? Are you dumb?
Defeats the whole purpose. What's the fucking point?
Like, go out and live your fucking life. Go have an experience so that you have something to write about. And then whatever those feelings are, let them translate. So I really love that and it's not surprising that there was like a huge swing and like everyone kind of jumped on that. And then we're kind of finding like the middle spot where we can use it as a tool, as you say, but not outsource your entire soul of yourself or the soul of your business. And because it never lands, like it doesn't. Like people can feel the lack of heartbeat to it.
Yeah.
And
people are looking for it. Like, I had an ad that was running for a promotion last month that was not written by AI, but it did use a lot of emojis, because anyone who knows me knows I love emojis.
Same with us.
But like, people were calling me out in the comments for using AI, and I hadn't. So it was like kind of this irony of like, because the ad was about not using AI. So people were like, but you used AI for this. I'm like, no, I didn't, but I understand why your back is up, and I understand why you're criticizing everything. And I think that's the thing we have to understand is, like, for a little while there, I think people were fooled, because it was just like, wow, came out of nowhere so hard, so fast. We were like, what's real, what isn't? Now it's like we're all slowly just getting retrained to be able to see it, spot it, feel it. In fact, there's been studies that show well over 50% of Americans can spot it right away. I think the number's probably higher than that. Like, if you look at one piece of copy, maybe not. But if a brand you follow, like if you ladies all of a sudden started just using AI for absolutely everything, people would be like, hello, Kelsey, Christine, are you being held hostage? Like, what's happening? Where are you? And I think that I think there's a lot of businesses right now that are struggling because they jumped on that bandwagon a little too fast. And then, you know, I've had to try to figure out, as a leader of a community of writers, like how to navigate this, because I don't think the answer is to avoid it and put your head in the sand and pretend it's not there either. And so it's really figuring out a way to integrate it. And like I said, use it to free up, like use it for the boring stuff, use it for the time consuming stuff, use it for the monotonous, you know, tasks that copywriters, creatives, you know, those of us have to do no matter what, so that all of a sudden now when it comes time to write, we're like, ooh, we've got the juice and we can like really put our soul into it. And I think that's how copywriters should be using it.
That's smart. As a business owner, I would be fine with that. Like if I hired somebody and they said, listen, I use AI and here's how I use it and here's how it helps you time collapse and here's how I'm going to do a better job for you, I'd be like, I'm fucking in. Treat yourself. Use it. But if you send me some shit that has the fucking M dashes and it's not this, it's a
I love
portal.
the M dash. Why does the M dash get such a bad rap? I was
like, as a writer, I use it all the time.
Well, no, but same. I actually I look back at my writing and I use it a lot too. But that's the problem now, is that it's like it's this thing that's now being. You know what I mean? I like, even if I want to use it, I'm like, I can't. I need to do dots, or I need to do something else that's like, or a little arrow or something.
We've been robbed of the M dash thanks to ChatGPT.
Yeah. Well, that's what.
But you're so right. Like, I actually, just before we started recording this, just finished recording a new mini course that is coming out soon, and I was so hesitant to create this course because it is how to use an AI for copywriters course. And I realized that, like, for the longest time, I was just not talking about it because I'm like, no, you can't use AI for writing at all, you know? And I realized, like, okay, I'm a copywriter who has 20 years of experience. I never use AI for writing because I actually think it takes longer. But if you're, like, a brand new writer who really wants to shortcut the research, you know, idea generation, you know, 80% of the background stuff that has to happen before you ever strike a key to write a word. What if there was a way to really use ChatGPT to actually make yourself smarter in that process, so that when you do sit down to write, you've like got the background information you need and you can really allow it to flow through and write great copy. And so to your point, Christine, like the first module I talk about, like as a copywriter or business owner, like we all need to have a policy on where our like how we use AI in our business, because I came up with one really early on because my team is a bunch of writers. And like, I remember when ChatGPT came out, it was like Voldemort. Like my team was like, don't say the words ChatGPT to Alex, you know? And I was like, you guys, listen, I think we should be using it. I don't think we should be the idiots that are avoiding this. I think we should be using it, but in a smart way. And so I came up with a policy that I now share with the posse. I share across the board so that I'm using it as a way to actually build trust with my customers and saying, hey, you're never going to see a piece of content written, nothing written by ChatGPT or written by AI that comes from me. But that doesn't mean we don't use it, and here are the ways we use it. And we're always transparent about the ways that we use it. And so as business owners and writers and anyone who uses it, and especially if you're frontward facing, working with clients, I think we should be really transparent, because there's going to be business owners like you, Christine, who are like, as long as you tell me how you use it and how you don't use it, and like I know what that line is, like I'm actually here for it. And I think that's more trustworthy than someone that's like, no, I don't use it at all. Then you're like, really? For nothing? Like,
I literally have never. Like, I've never done it on my computer. Christine and I have done it, like, with a couple of things with Club Unhinged, like, on her computer, but I've literally never done it on mine. I'm like, no, I'm just going to write a poem. Like,
writing, yes. But, like, I'll ask it, like, what belt size is European size 75 in Europe, in Americans? Like, I use it for just like the most random shit. You know what I mean?
It's like Google on crack.
It's like Google, yeah.
Google on crack. It's fucking turbo Google in the fact of just being like, all right, give me the facts, or, you know, ChatGPT is Google on crack. It's just like, tell me the thing. But this is also what I saw, is I saw even some of my coaching clients would be like, yeah, they show up to a call and be like, yeah, so I walked myself through it. I asked ChatGPT to diagnose me. And I was like, listen, no, I forbid you from that. Because do you know how mental, like, so much of everything is feeling, right? Like we can mentalize it. We can mentally masturbate on all of these concepts. Yeah. But you're not going to do the transformation. You're going to understand a bunch of shit, but your body's still holding all the stress. It's still holding all the data. It's still holding all the debris. We got to like move the energy here. And so I think you're right. I think it was this craze and trend, like everything that always happens. It's like, I'm going to be left behind or a head in the sand, or one of the two. And then all of a sudden, it's like ghost town. You're like, what happened to everybody? And then everyone comes back, and they come back like a little tattered and a little beat up, being like, I thought it was the thing. And it's like, the thing is you. You are the magic. You are the magic. You need to, like, let's just clear your field and update the frequency, and your Wi-Fi's cranked, and you're tapping into universe on tap versus a robot on tap, right?
Oh
like,
my God.
The robot's never going to give you cutting edge ideas. When you get yourself into prime state, you're fucking
it's
tapping
pattern
into
recognition at
shit.
scale. So it's like, if you want to sound like what everybody else sounds like, great. ChatGPT is for you. Like, I'm in a mastermind group, and this is the part that I think is actually crazy. Is someone in this group was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Look at this ad that my ad team created for me using AI. And they shared the ad, and it's a video ad. And everyone was like, wow, that's amazing. And like, here's the thing that I want to scream at people. It's like, it is amazing when you really look at it as like, a few years ago, it would be unheard of that you could put a couple lines of text into this video generating tool, and that it could like take your likeness and create this kind of weird like like, you know, clone of you, and have you say whatever you want, and like, that is actually pretty amazing. But when you actually look at it as a customer, and you're like, what would I feel if I saw this ad from this coach who's telling me to buy their thing to help them create a better life? Like, I'm being very generic as to not like call this person out, but it's like you would be like, fucking weird, man. Like, that makes me feel all sort of things. That it's not inspiring. It's not, I'm not trusting you more. So it's like, can we all like, not confuse impressive technology with anything that even remotely resembles powerful communication, or making people feel something, or creation, and so it's like, but again, that's assuming all marketers are good people who listen to their pussies and and make aligned decisions, you know? But
listen, not everybody's like us, friends. I've learned that. I've learned that not many women listen to their pussy.
Right? What? Crazy.
It boggles my brain. I'm like, don't you know she's the oracle? Like, she knows.
Everything?
She's tapping into that universal consciousness, and that's how we are able to channel what we do in terms of writers and creatives and business owners. And I think for me, like the chat GPT, I'm like, it's pattern recognition and it's pulling from everything that's already existed. It's not actually
The good and the bad.
right. And so it's pulling from things that have already been made, and it's not like this generative creative vortex. Like it's not innovating in that sense. Like the true innovation is being able to tap into the collective consciousness, the universal consciousness, and pull those ideas down and through. Like, and only humans are able to do that, which is so fucking cool. But again, most people don't realize that they are that magical and that they can do that. And
That's the sad part. Yeah.
it's a bummer, but also good news for us, you know, as women leading the charge and being like, listen, go stroke your pussy, go touch her, go say hello, like warm her up a bit, and then see what kind of magic comes out of you.
Ask her some questions.
Ask her some questions. Yeah.
I think that's so true. Like I say that to a lot of people as I was like, you guys, I know right now it seems like everywhere you look, it's just there's so much noise, there's so much watered down content, there's just so much happening. And, you know, again, you mix in like retargeting where as soon as you start to think about something, like let's say you want to start a podcast or a YouTube channel or start creating certain kind of content, you like search it once on Google, and then next thing you know, you see every single person and their dog who creates the same kind of content as you. So then you think you're not unique or special, and there's no point that you should really actually go after it and try. Like it's crazy. Like I'm like, wow, I literally think so many people have probably stopped going after their dreams after they did one Google search, and then all of a sudden retargeting says, look at all these other people who are doing what you're doing. I think there's such a huge opportunity right now for people who are just like willing to go at it like messy and gritty. Like a perfect example of this is like I posted something on my Instagram the other day and I accidentally had a typo in it. Oh my God, the engagement that shit got, because literally everyone was
Unlike
like, there's a
anything
typo.
else.
There's a typo. There's a typo. I'm like, I know how to spell the word. I was just moving too fast. Jeez. But I was like, if that's not a prime example of just people who are literally paying attention to the imperfect.
Yes. Yes.
So like the
Honestly,
more you try to be perfect, the more you're just washing away with everybody else.
100%. And it's also a really great way to show people you didn't use AI.
Exactly. I literally wrote back. I was like, well, you know, that AI didn't write that. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Province is spelled INCE, not ENC. It was just the stupidest typo, but yeah.
Well, and people go so fucking mental on the internet. Like, as someone who writes a lot on the internet, on Instagram and Substack and all the places, sometimes I will intentionally put a word in wrong because I know it's going to fuck people up.
Yeah.
And like it's more of like this kind of shadowy work to do of like it'll literally bring these parts out, and you'll see like the part that can't be with someone's mistake or it can't be with someone else's mess, and then you have a much clearer map of what's going on inside of you. But also it drives a lot of engagement. So
Seriously, isn't that wild? Like it's so true though. People just like people are paying attention to the imperfect. Like that's what's getting attention.
yeah. Makes for good teaching moments, let me tell you. Like I love taking those people and making examples of them in my comment section.
I need to do more of that. I need to be shadier, I think.
It's so fun. It's so fun being sassy.
You should do like a how to be a shady bitch copywriter.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, we'd sign up.
Shady bitch copywriting.
I'm down.
No,
I'm down.
but really though, like I mean, I definitely want to do a video calling out these like AI generated comments. Like it's like I see them all the time on people's Instagram comments now, and it's the only way to really tell that it's AI is that it just kind of summarizes what you said in your caption. In like like I'll send you guys an example where it seems like a really thoughtful comment. You're like, nobody's that thoughtful in the comment section. People will be like, yes, or people will be like heart emoji, heart emoji, heart emoji, but people are going to be like, well said. I've often thought about this situation in which, like, fuck right off, you know?
Wait, so what's the point of this? Is this like brands and companies doing this so that like they're driving?
Yeah, to get like engagement. Like I think they think, oh, if I use AI to go generate comments and then comment on other people's content, then they're going to come back and maybe follow me. It's like, why would you ever go comment on people's stuff really if you're a human and they're trying to game it by getting their personal brand out there more.
We're like catfishing on other people's comment in other people's comments.
And like literally now I just respond and I'm like AI, AI, AI. Like I just can't. And it's
Just
just
start replying
love
with
it.
with the freaking eggplant emoji or like the skull.
Yes,
It's just
I
like
know.
something
Yes.
so unhinged.
But you can
So
always
unhinged.
tell because like most people will comment on the photo. Like, so if you have a photo of yourself and you're like, you know, let's say it's a photo of you and you're wearing this pretty outfit, but then the caption is like you're talking about goals or personal development or something like that. Most real comments will be like, oh my God, you look so amazing in that dress, or where'd you get that dress, or I love you look so good. But like as soon as you get a comment that's just like a summary of your caption,
Dead giveaway.
you're just like, no. Like,
Not
and they're
human.
they're so agreeable. They're like, wow, yeah, well said. And then it's like, it's so like, fuck right off.
I mean, the best part is if I see someone that I'm following do that, I'm like, okay, instant unfollow. Like, this is going to help me clean up my feed because no, thank you. Like, there is an element of being social on social media. And like, for me, like, there is, you know, a set amount of time that I set aside every single day to go in, like with the sole intention of just engaging with other people's content, not to get people back in my camp, but actually to
No.
be an active participant and cheer people
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Be like, you're doing a good job. Like, I love what you're up to, even if it's just 5 minutes. And, you know, the algorithms often respond to that. So I understand why people try and gamify it and
Yeah.
you know, outsource it, because it does take effort on my part to go and read someone's post all the way through or watch their content all the way through and then comment something that's actually meaningful.
Yeah.
And but I love that it's kind of creating this clear divide between like the people who are really like in it for like the love of their mission and what they're doing, and they want to create more human to human connection, and then you're going to see more of like the outskirts of people who just want to outsource everything and like avoid human connection. And so it definitely has supported my intuition and my discernment in getting even sharper,
Seriously.
which I think is a really good thing. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
that's a bad thing at all.
Yeah, I think we're all working on that. Like really working on discerning like what is real, you know, and what isn't. And that isn't it crazy that like that's now part of it. And I talk about this
Yeah.
in building your personal brand. I'm like, bet you never thought that proof of humanity is like part of your personal brand.
You're a real human.
Yeah, like how can I show people that I'm real? I'll still do webinars and stuff where I'm live and live. And the comments are like, this isn't real, this isn't recorded. And I'm like, JT, I can see you right there. Like, and he's like, oh, sorry. It's like crazy how much people just assume everything is fake. And that's like, that's the scary thing, you know? And a lot of it is. Like, have you heard of the dead internet theory? It's this conspiracy theory. It's terrifying, but it's this conspiracy theory that the vast majority of interaction that happens on the internet is just like bots communicating with other bots. And like
I believe
sometimes that
this.
happens when you're like have ManyChat on your Instagram account and then another account has ManyChat and you just keep triggering each other's ManyChat. Has that ever happened to you where I'm like, oops, and like you literally have to jump in and be like, sorry, my bot and your bot are going to town. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
They're trying to
Like,
create bot babies over here.
exactly. Or like, you know, all these AI generated comments. And I saw something on LinkedIn the other day from this guy I know, and it was like so annoying because, you know, he was trying to share a really powerful sentiment about being a father, but the photo was AI generated
Oh no.
and the caption was very clearly AI written.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I believe that the sentiment was real, but like you posted this as to try to fake or like to try to expedite the things that like those should be the things that you are spending your time doing, not the things you should be using AI for. And there was a few comments, people were like, bro, no.
It's fucking
Yeah.
weird. Well,
Yeah. So
like what people don't understand is that one true embodied rich post will probably generate 20 times more engagement than 20 shithole boring ass, right? And it's human connection. And I think it's actually kind of brilliant that I really do think people are, like you said, the pendulum's going to swing back. We're almost like, if you are superhuman and you are raw and you are gritty, people are going to be like fucking obsessed.
Frothing.
Like frothing at the mouth. So I think it's just like if you stay over here and don't get too swung, and we see this all the time, right? It doesn't matter what comes in. This is also where being anchored in your body and in your power is really important, because this is not the first thing. There's going to be a million other things that are going to come in, and everyone, majority of the mass population, the sheep, get swooped. They go on a fucking they go off-roading for months and months and months. They eventually come back. But this time they have a peg leg, and they got like, you know, the little sheep have like one little baby peg leg, and they've got a roller cart, and they're like, I'm exhausted. And it's like, well, no shit. You're getting fucking swept away, right? This is where like the black sheep, the ones who are like, we're the outcasts and the weirdos.
Yeah, we're going
the ones
rogue.
Who are like too neurodivergent to
I
fucking
tried
focus
to tell
on.
you not to go that way.
Yeah. You didn't want to
ADHD's
listen.
taken me so far. Of course, I forgot that everyone left over there. And I'm like, I guess I'm left behind, but we're not left behind. We're actually like meant to be the anchors, to be like, no, right? And so I think that like messy, raw, real human stuff, people are going to be so refreshed and just like, oh my God, please let me come back to basics. Sometimes it'll probably swing the other way, where it's like, I just want basics. I want to simplify.
Yeah.
This is what people don't understand. More is not more. Like overdoing it overdoes it. Look at fucking Christmas Vacation and Clark and the turkey. You overdo it, the turkey is fucking steaming and there's nothing to eat, because they were just people are just like,
Lights are blinding.
Yeah.
You're break,
Yeah.
you're blowing a
Right?
circuit. Yeah.
It's
That's
just
a-
you blow a circuit. People can't hold people. It's too much. It's just like it's
Yeah.
too much, and I see that right now. People are just like, they are so done.
down.
They're shutting down. Their nervous system is not designed. Like, yes, we can expand ourselves to hold more, and yes, there's all these things we can do, but we're not designed for this level of mass sort of like overwhelm. And at the end of the day, humans are humans are humans. And I think creating really powerful spaces, authentic spaces for people to come into, that's going to be the real flex in 2026. I think that's the thing that's going to pull people in, is authenticity, true. I mean, you're just from a fucking physics like our biological perspective, neuroception in your nervous system is literally calculating every fucking second. People, is this person safe or unsafe? Is this person authentic? Like, you can feel it. It's happening without us even cognitively thinking it.
Conscious,
So
exactly.
you're online and you're actually being authentic and you're being true and real. People, there's automatically that trust built, and they're going to trust
And
you.
it's easier to cut through the noise than you think. And that's I think the thing. It's like it's so easy to look at what everyone else is doing and see the just sheer volume that's being produced. And then it's really easy to be like, oh wait, that person's real, you know, and you see this happening more and more. And it's an edge, you know, like it's even an edge for me. Like my content has always been really polished, and I come from like, you know, the like many of people, the people listening, and probably you ladies, this background of like just be perfect. Like that's what you need to be. And realizing that like, oh God, it's actually okay for me to be like a hot ass mess. And I think that's the part of what I do that my community enjoys the most. And so trying to bring that more into even my content creation, because I'm not someone who just jumps on a reel and like rants for 2 minutes, but like my team will create a beautiful carousel that is quote unquote perfect. And I want to do more of just like the showing up as the real gritty, kind of like this conversation, and what I do in my paid programs more in my public content, because I think I've processed it out so much, which is great for me because I don't need to show up as much. But I'm realizing that sometimes you can over process out things rather than just sort of like the real, like I'm showing up now because I have something to say.
100%. 100%. Love it. Okay, so obviously, now that everyone has heard this conversation, they're like, fuck, I need Alex Cattoni in my world. And how do I get more of her and her genius in my world? Where can people find you? What do you got going on? Tell all the people all the things.
Honestly, the best place to find me is on YouTube. If you're into YouTube, that's where it all started, baby.
All weekend.
My YouTube channel is just my name, Alex Cattoni, or Alex Cattoni on Instagram. You can also go to copyposse.com if you want to learn more about what we're doing over there. Always kind of doing fun live experiences and events and things like that. So.
Amazing. We'll put all of that in the show notes for everyone, so it's easy to find. And if there was one final thing that you wanted to leave people with today, what would that be?
Ooh, yeah, I think it would just be to give yourself permission to really share the parts of yourself that might feel deeply uncomfortable, because that is the part of you that's lovable. That's the part of you that's relatable. That's the part of you that creates connection. And I love what you ladies are doing with your podcast. I'm planning to start a podcast. I've actually already recorded 2 episodes. And the reason why I'm feeling called to do that is to have more conversations like this. Like, not everything has to be polished, perfect, planned, prepared, publish. It's like, hey, let's talk about what's really going on. And so to everyone listening, find yourself some unhinged girlies that you could just fucking rant with, because I honestly just need this in my life, like, all the time. So let's get together soon, please.
Okay. We can't wait to be on your podcast and also hang out and
You can
go do shit.
You can corner me at your birthday party.
Deal. Christine's birthday's coming up the fastest. So
Excellent.
I love it.
Oh, so good. Thank you so much for being on here with us today. Like, this has been such a vibe. I'm like, how the fuck did we like go over an hour already? I'm like,
Not
dang.
surprising whatsoever.
We were in the vortex there.
We did have that little internet glitch, but
yeah, for like 5 minutes. That was not a lot. It was so great.
I enjoyed
Thank
this
you
so much. Thank you for having me.
You're very, very
Best.
welcome.
We're gonna need you back on here for like another. We really need
Turbo
like
time.
an unhinged fireside chat. We just all need to like get around a big room, pour some fucking spicy margaritas, and just like just fireside chat on just
I would love
unhinged
that.
business.
Bring your mic.
Yeah, but hey, I'll bring my mic.
Bring your mic and we'll get her done.
The unhinged tequila sleepover.
That would
Yes.
actually be so funny. Just show up with like a pillow and my mic. I'm like, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
And it's just a tequila. Or now we can just ask you. We're like, okay, now that we have you drunk,
No, you
tell
gotta
us
bring the
most-
tequila.
Tell us those unhinged shit that you've done in your life, and then we'll just
Oh,
clips.
love
on clips.
this.
I
Love
love
this.
this
Love
teaser.
this.
This is a teaser for
know.
the next episode.
Yeah, it is. It really is. So stay tuned, everyone. Keep tuning in every single week, because you never know when Alex Cattoni is going to be back. We love you all. And if you loved the conversation today, we would love if you would rate and subscribe to the podcast, but only 5 stars. So we only want 5-star reviews and really nice things. If you loved us, obviously you did, because you're here right at the very end. So we would love for you to support us, because it just helps get this mission and this message out to more people who need to hear at least something that happened on this conversation today. So be part of someone else's transformation, share it, subscribe, like, give us all the reviews, and we'll see you next week. We love you, friends. Bye. All in all, we want to say thank you for being here. We love and appreciate you so much. And if you liked today, give us a 5-star rating, and we'll see you next week.
And share it. If you know somebody who needs this in their life, share this shit. Abundance goes round and round. We love you.
We love you. Bye.